If Vic So'oto and Fui Vakapuna made me feel small, I feel tiny sitting here by Iona Pritchard and Manase Tonga. Good thing we have cameras on. You guys can't. I'm good, right?
Yeah.
I'm good? I'm safe?
TV adds a couple pounds, so it's all
okay.
good.
All right, we'll see. Well, Manase, first of all, fill us in on where your career's taken you since BYU.
Right now I'm going into my 3rd year with the Oakland Raiders, and it's definitely a dream come true. You know, it's a blessing. Getting to play the game I love, and I think BYU prepared me for it.
Are the Raiders going to turn it around this year?
Oh yeah, you know we got a whole new regime. You know, we got a whole new front office. We got guys, you know, we got with a great attitude, you know, ready to work, and I'm anxious to see where this takes us.
Now, it wasn't that long ago that you were playing here at BYU, but these young guys have been spoiled. Now they have their own media day, televised, all in HD. I mean, this is way different than your media day experience as a player.
I was just telling, I forgot who it was, but I've never even seen this building before. You know, it's my first time in here, and first time attending a media day. So it's very exciting for me, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous that these guys get spoiled, but it's it comes with the territory, I guess.
Iona, this is your 2nd go-around having BYU football media day. How excited are you for the season?
You know, I'm really excited. I can't really put into words the feelings I have for this season, but I'm definitely excited for the things to come.
You just want to stay healthy so you can make it to the field on August 30th in the home opener.
Yeah, that's definitely in my prayers all the time, you know. Last year was kind of hard, but I think things happen for a reason, so this year just keep my fingers crossed and work hard.
How healthy is your leg?
You know, I'm pretty much healed. I'm just getting out the kinks. It's still a little sore after some runs, but for the most part, I feel really good. I think I'm ready for this upcoming season.
And Manase knows, I mean, in the backfield, you're used to taking bumps and bruises, but when you break something, that's a little more serious.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's just the way the game's played.
Yeah, it's in the job description. That's what we get paid to do. You know, go out there and hurt people and get hurt at the same time.
How specifically did BYU prepare you for the NFL?
I think the biggest thing that I took from BYU is just the mental attitude, you know, the mental edge that I think we had, you know, a tough mindset. That was our biggest key. Bronco Menino, that's what he preaches, you know, mental toughness, always competing, always pushing to do better, never being complacent. I think by the time I got to my rookie year, you know, that's what the veterans expect you to do. They expect you to compete. They expect you to be mentally tough. You know, and for a lot of the rookies, it was brand new to them. But for me, I felt like I fit right in because I was so used to it already. You know, so I didn't mind putting in the work. I didn't mind, you know, going out there and giving it everything I had, every practice. It was kind of something I was used to.
What's the perception of BYU football as you've been in the NFL locker room?
The biggest thing is just a bunch of old guys running around playing football. You know, we're men amongst boys. That's the biggest thing. But for the most part, a lot of the guys underestimate BYU. You know, we may not have the fastest players, but you know, those players make plays. You know, I don't know why they're surprised, but they are. BYU wins so many games against quality opponents.
As you guys know, obviously, I mean, guys come back from missions and they're just fit, ready to hit the field, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. No, definitely the opposite. Definitely the opposite.
Yeah.
When you sit next to a guy like Manase that's in the NFL, I mean, that's every college football player's dream, to go to the NFL. How do these guys inspire you as a BYU career?
You know, I'm really privileged to be sitting, doing this interview with Manase. I didn't really know what to expect being here. But knowing that these guys kind of laid a path for us, you know, kind of set the bar, show us how things are done. You know, I never got the opportunity to play with Manase, but I definitely learned from his experiences through the coaches and through other players. And in that sense, I'm very grateful to be able to have had guys like this come through BYU.
We've had several questions throughout our web chats today. A lot of guys want to know how hard guys are working in the weight room. Mark tweeting in, wanting to know which players are the 3 hardest workers in the weight room, would you say right now, Iona?
You know, I can't really single out 3 guys. I'll tell you this, that everybody's working pretty hard. We've had a lot of good things happen here at BYU over the past couple months. A lot of different new things, newer techniques and workouts that they've implemented to the team. And everyone's just working really hard, getting ready for this season.
Who were the hardest workers when you were playing, Manase?
Here?
Yeah, at BYU.
Ooh, man, we have so many of them. The guys that jump out, you know, guys like Cameron Jensen, Brian Keel, amongst others. You know, those were they kind of, you know, laid it down. You know, they kind of showed us how, you know, how to work. And those guys kind of helped me realize how hard, you know, the importance of working hard and, you know, staying motivated.
Another question from Chad wants to know what the hardest part is about being a fullback. I mean, I guess first of all, what's the differences between being a fullback as opposed to a halfback or a running back?
You can answer that.
You've kind of had to do both.
Yeah, you know, I'd say that the big difference between the 2 positions, one is more of a glory guy. The halfback, he usually gets all the credit. But I think for the guys that understand football and that are playing out there, they know that the fullback does have a crucial role in how the run game goes and things like that, and how successful the running back is. So being a fullback is kind of a position that you do your job, and it's a very critical job, but you don't get too much credit for it. And I'd say that's probably the biggest thing between the 2. I'd say the fullback usually is a more physical kind of guy, hard-nosed, just want to hit people type attitude, opposed to the running back. I'm sure that there are those that are just like that, but more often than not, I'd say that the physical part of the running back relationship is the fullback.
You have that kind of firsthand because Harvey Unga was the running back. You were the little fullback, kind of the unsung hero.
I guess you can say that. Just to echo what Iona said, you know, that's the biggest difference. You know, fullback is, you know, your job is to protect the running back, you know, and make sure nobody gets to him. But for me personally, I think it's the same. Fullback, the mentality needs to be the same. I mean, obviously the fullback gets to do it a lot more, but the running back, you know, their job isn't as, you know, it's not that easy either. So I just, you know, the fact that the fullback and the halfback both have to be physical, both have to be smart. And what I'm learning now is, you know, there's a lot of tailbacks now who are, you know, a little oversized, who are being asked to play fullback. And, you know, for the most part, a lot of them jump in and they do fairly well. I think it's just a mindset. You either got it or you don't. You know, to play football, to play fullback, you just have to have that, you know, mentality that, you know, it's either you or him that's going to win.
A little bit earlier, we had Michael Elisa here on a web chat. What do guys like Iona and Mike Elisa and the current core of running backs and fullbacks, what do they need to do to have the kind of success that you and Harvey and Fui had?
I think they just need to stay the course. I think what they did last year, and I think what they've been doing is what needs to be done. I don't think they're doing any. I don't think they need to do anything different. Just continue to stay the course and continue to just hone those skills. You know, maybe there's some things that they need to work on, whether it be hands or footwork or whatnot. But I think for the most part, they're working hard. They definitely, you know, have that that hunger. They love playing the game. So it's just a matter of, you know, keeping after it and staying consistent.
Iona, what things are you guys doing during the off season to get better?
You know, like what Manase said, a lot of it has to do with hands, footwork. It's just all the little things that make running backs good are all the things that we're trying to work on, whether it be blocking, running routes, just a variety of different things that we try to keep up, just try to keep ourselves in tip-top shape.
What do you do then, especially to make sure that you don't kind of sputter out of the gate at the beginning of the season that seemed to happen with the run game last year?
You know, I think we're just all trying to work really hard and prepare for those opportunities that we're going to get and make the best of those opportunities that we receive to perform.
Talking to a couple running backs, fullbacks, that play at quarterback U, BYU, known for the passing game. How do you find yourselves being able to fit into there saying, hey, running game is just as important?
Well, I personally think that it was, it was about time that they started running the ball a lot more, being a running back. The running game complements the passing game and vice versa. So, even though we produce a lot of those, our running game has been very successful. Our passing game has been just as successful, and I think they go hand in hand. In order to have an effective passing game, you need to be able to run the ball, effectively. And I think with the running backs and the fullbacks that we had coming through in the past few years, have made it easier for the offense to move, for the quarterback to move. And like I said, in the past few years, we've had some pretty successful quarterbacks come through.
And I know you agree. Got to run the ball, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Manase is saying. I think that both complement one another. Running game and passing game, they're both part of the running back life. So,
how great is it to have a quarterback like Riley Nelson, who really, he embraces that, loves to run the football, give it to you guys to run the football, and also throw it.
For myself personally, I haven't had an experience to play with Riley yet, but I definitely look forward to hopefully playing with him. But through the off season and through the opportunities that I've had to play in practice with him and things like that, I wouldn't choose any other guy to play with or to take reps with, because he's more than a quarterback. He's kind of turning into the heart and soul of what our offense really stands for.
Manase, as you were watching these highlights, what's it like to have a playmaker like that quarterbacking a team for BYU?
Oh, anytime you get an athlete like that in the back, as a quarterback, it's always a plus, because then they just add that dimension to the offense. Defenses are forced to be honest. They can't really blitz as much, and when plays break down, which they normally do, a guy like Riley Nelson can make something out of nothing. And so, having a guy with his athleticism back there, it's a definite plus for the BYU offense.
Got a question about your height and weight. Where are you now in relation to when you were at BYU?
Weight-wise, I'm probably like 15 pounds heavier. But I feel a lot better than. I feel like if I was playing at this weight when I was at BYU, not necessarily the weight, but I just feel more fit and healthier now than when I was here at BYU. I think I really beat myself up bad when I was on BYU, and I didn't really take care of my body the way I needed to. So, even though I'm a little heavier now, I still feel like the same.
Iona, where are you in comparison to maybe where you were before you got hurt last year? Because I know you bulked up because you weren't able to work out.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as Manase. For myself, I feel a lot more healthy now. Just with the new things that they've been doing with the team, the new workouts that they've been implementing. Not only are they trying to build muscle, but they're trying to preserve it and keep you safe from injury. So right now I feel probably the best I've ever felt, even before being injured, besides the ankle, but like the rest of my body just starts to feel really good with the things they got us doing.
Manase, since you've left, BYU's left the Mountain West Conference, they've gone independent. Do you think that's a good course? Do you like seeing an independent BYU football team?
Man, I love it. I love it. The fact that they can basically schedule any team they want. I actually did an interview earlier, and I was talking about how jealous I was. Last year they had a very good schedule. They're playing Ole Miss and Texas and teams like that. And I think the highlight from my BYU career was my senior year when we got to play Oklahoma and Florida State and teams like that. And to see that these guys get to play these top caliber teams year in and year out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.
And that senior year, you beat Oklahoma, lost to Florida State. It's one thing to play these marquee, high-caliber teams, but, that Oklahoma, when people still talk about that, that's still a huge game in BYU history. How important is it to win those big games?
Oh, I always feel like anytime BYU is matched up with these, top-tier teams, it's always a big deal, mainly because I feel like BYU doesn't get the recognition it deserves. but also because these are high caliber teams, and if we can, we know that we can compete with them, but the rest of the nation doesn't know that yet. I think they're slowly starting to learn now that we can compete with the best of them, and that's all we want to. That's all I wanted to prove. And so the fact that now that we're independent, and these guys get to go out and prove themselves, against quality teams, it's only going to mean good things for this program.
Iona, to wrap it up, what game are you most looking forward to this year?
To tell you the truth, I'm probably looking each game. I'm looking forward to each game, but I'd say that I'm pretty excited for this Utah game, Game 3 coming up. We all know it's a big rivalry game for the state, and with things that happened last year, we're definitely looking for some redemption. So that's probably one of the. I'd say, like I said, you can't really say there's one game more important than the other, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing Utah this year.
Nothing says more about the magnitude of this rivalry than a guy that says it's the Utah game. In the same year that you're going to go to South Bend and play at Notre Dame, and you're saying it's the Utah game. We want the redemption from last year. So let's just reverse the score and do the same to them up on the hill, all right? That's all I'm asking of you, Iona.
We'll see, man. All we're going to do is just prepare and get ready for that game and the rest of the games as well. So.
Okay, get a W, and we'll be happy. All right, Iona and Manase, thanks for joining me.